think of art, they often get an association to this euphoric feeling of creation. The feeling of being in flow states, of creating something remarkable and effortless. But that is not really the true process, at least not most of the time. The majority of the time is filled with doubt, of thinking that what you're creating is not good enough, of not being sure where things are going, of experimenting and sometimes having to scratch off a whole project, of your vision not coming out the way you wanted it to. Of things taking more time than you anticipated. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. You need to believe in your own vision and then find the strength to push through. You have to believe in your own abilities. And most of the time, it's all worth it in the end. Don't we all wish we could create things that felt like it was just flowing through us? That it basically created itself and we were merely a vessel for it to be created. That all doubt was gone and creativity was living through you. This seems like a wonderful fantasy. But if we only had this, would we not get bored? Would we not miss the relief in the end? The joy of completing something you weren't sure you could complete? The excitement of surpassing your own expectations? Of sticking out to the end, even when it felt unreachable? Can this fulfillment actually come without the struggle built up to create it? Can frustration and the stamina to overcome it actually be a part of the ultimate fulfillment? The sensation of feeling that frustration, but not actually letting it control you. The feeling of pushing through to get to your end goal. No matter what you have created, the eternal being will always want more. It will always be able to see beyond that, to reach for the next goal, which in reality means we're not actually chasing the result, because the result is a temporary fulfillment, a temporary state of mind. What we are really chasing is the journey towards it. And if you neglect the journey, you will never really find fulfillment, because the static results can only satisfy you for so long until you crave another challenge. When you surrender yourself to the endless processes, you can really enjoy your time creating, because you're not rushing to the finish line. You recognize that this is one of many cycles of creation. And by doing so, you are able to be more present in the process and thus create from a more liberated and creative space. The fear of the results can stop a lot of people from even starting. The fear of not being able to bring your vision to life, to fail and waste time, and then having to admit on your own defeat. And what if you fail? And what if you do learn? What if you experience and learn lessons along the way that you will have with you forever? You will only really know if you start.